What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Checkered Flag Chat, episode number 2. Today we have a big episode to get to, from legendary deaths to the Cowbush Invitational, Truck, Cup from New Hampshire, excuse me, and then the preview to Daytona this weekend for the O'Reilly Cup, plus some other winners from other racing series. Let's get started. We had a couple deaths a couple days ago, most notably Dolly Parton. Rest in peace. Praise for her family and friends and everybody else. She was just 80 years old. And another one that was just 80 years old, Tim Curry, died on the same day. Rest in peace to both of them. Both of them are absolute legends in their own right. Um, with that being said, let's get into some racing stuff. Um, if you didn't know, last Friday, NASCAR and Bowman Gray Stadium held the Kyle Busch Invitational. Uh, Kyle Busch wanted to do a legend car race at Bowman Gray before he passed away, and it's really cool that NASCAR was able to get this done. The winners, the legend car winner for the Kyle Busch Invitational, sorry if I butcher some names here, Preston Risley was the legend car winner, and Carson Sherman won the Bandoleros. Uh, Great job at making that a free event on Flow Racing, NASCAR, all of that. That was free to watch for everybody, and I loved that. I know Samantha gave a great speech at the beginning of the race. Braxton Bush ended up 6th in the legend car race, which is great for him. But let's get into some Cup and trucks now. The Truck Series winner, Saturday, Lane Riggs, won the Truck Series race at New Hampshire, and then Ryan Blaney won the Cup Series race after a slew of issues. But both of those were great races. Congratulations to both winners. Truck Series had some did not qualifies. Luke Baldwin, Mason Massey, Derek White, D.L. Wilson, and Dawson Sutton. Now, with that, we had some interesting things happen. So, we'll start with the Luke Baldwin situation. He missed out by one position. Uh, Frankie Muniz ended up Saturday morning saying, "Hey, I will be out of the race. Luke Baldwin, hop into my truck. We'll get into the issues in a second." So Luke Baldwin started in that 33 truck for Frankie Muniz. And then Rackley War apparently had two trucks, which Tony Breidinger was in a 26 and Dawson Sutton in a 27, tried to get two trucks in. Well, that didn't quite exactly happen. The 27 did not qualify. Rackley War decided to take Tony Breidinger out of the truck and put Dawson Sutton in, which Dawson Sutton is racing full time for them this year, I believe, in that 26 truck. So my thing is, why would they take Dawson Sutton out of that truck to try to get a second truck in? It doesn't make any sense to me. It should have stayed Dawson Sutton 26, Tony Breidinger coming in 27, try to qualify in. I don't know what happened there, but whatever happened, it happened. Whatever. Truck Series. Wreck before the start line, they had a massive stack up. I know, I think it was Tom Majeski had some damage on his truck, ended up finishing pretty well still, I believe. Luke Baldwin, I gotta feel bad for him. He's just had a rough year in the truck series. Even being part time, he's had a rough time. Uh, he ended up spinning out on before he even got to the start finish line. I just feel bad for Luke. He deserves better. He's a great racer. He deserves better. He really does. Um, I just feel so bad for him. Let's get into the Truck Series top 10. Obviously, Lane Riggs was the winner. Chandler Smith finished second, which huge news for him here in a little bit. Uh, Caden Honeycutt finished third. Stuart Friesen, great top 5, finished fourth. Connor Zilich led most of the race up until the third stage, winning stage 1 and 2. He did. Excuse me, I will have to edit that out. He led quite a bit, but something with his truck was off, and he just ended up fifth. Tristan McKee, what a race! 2 races in a row. First 2 truck series starts in the 77 truck, and he gets 2 top 10s from Richmond to New Hampshire. 2 top 10s. I think he finished sixth in both. So great job, Tristan McKee. Only 16? Yeah, he's 16 years old. Great job for Tristan. Uh, Phenomenal racer. He's gonna be off to bigger and better things at some point. Uh, don't count him out. As soon as he's 18, he will probably be running full-time truck series. Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell ended up 7th. Danny Hemrick 8th. Tristan Haley 9th. And that Ram truck, he's been doing a great job this year. They've been getting better throughout the season. And then Parker Eatman in the 42 ended up 10th. Great top 10 for him. I think Parker is a name you'll hear a lot more in the coming years. Parker Eatman. He's also a great racer. I believe he's going to be doing great things in NASCAR in general. So good job to them. The Truck Series Chase. So New Hampshire was the cutoff race for the Truck Series. The 10 trucks that will be in the playoffs. Obviously, it's going to be Lane Riggs, Ken Honeycutt, which you can imagine would be in. They've been running well this year. Chandler Smith, Christian Eckes, they've been doing a great job this year. Gio Ruggiero is a name you don't hear too often right now, but he is like silently real. He's silently really good. Excuse me. Uh, he's just doing phenomenal back there, doing a great job. Grant Enfinger, Daniel Hemrick, Ben Rhodes, and Tyler Ankrum got that cutoff spot. There was a great battle for that cutoff spot there, and man, was that an entertaining race at the end. Seeing if Tyler Ankrum was going to get in, or if it was going to be someone else. One of the other 2 drivers, I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I did not write that down. But yeah, great job, Tyler Ankrum, into the playoffs. And remember the chase. It's not like the playoffs. I just said playoffs. I'm at Chase. My bad. It's not like the playoffs. It is a, I think the trucks, it's going to be like a race, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong though. It's just going to be races all the way down to the finale at Homestead. Let's get into the Cup Series. The rain came for the Truck Series. It looked like NASCAR was about to start them running in the rain. First time ever running in the legit rain at a short track like that. But Carson Hocevar had to come up and ruin all that. Ruin, Carson got past the pace car. Either he spun out on purpose or trying to get an advantage on other people. Who knows? Trying to see how much grip he had, and he just spun out. And that's what ultimately made NASCAR make the decision to call him back down pit road for a little bit before it stopped raining and get him going. Um, but I think NASCAR is making gutsy calls again, which I love with that. Um, NASCAR is trying to be more confident with them in the rain at short tracks and stuff, and letting them try to run while it's still at least sprinkling while running on those short tracks that have wet weather tires. Huge props for them. I see them doing that within the next couple years for sure. As long as nobody, most notably Cousin Reservoir, doesn't spin out again, trying to see how much grip it is or whatnot. Um, but when we did get started, Tyler Reddick, my bad, ended up spinning in turn four by himself back there. So that caused a little bit of a pile up. Denny Hamlin did not make contact, neither did Chris Buescher. I want to say it was Chris Buescher. It was one of the Fords. I can't remember exactly now. But great save by them. The Cup battles. Cup Series had numerous battles throughout the day. Um, Bubba and Blaney. Bubba was running Blaney down, but ended up not getting there. Josh Berry as well had a great battle with Bubba Wallace, and he ran really good again as well, finishing third. We'll get to the top 10 for the Cubs series here soon. Just great race by Bubba, Josh, and Ryan. Great battles by them, but there's also great battles in the back too. But before, great battles all over the track. Riley Herbst had a hard hit. That was the hardest hit I've seen in a little while, other than the Truck Series on Saturday. But Cup wise, that was the hardest hit I've seen in a little bit. And Connor Zilic trying to get slowed down, just ran into him, tried to go high, wasn't enough room. He is always so hard on himself, and you gotta feel bad for Connor. Yes, he's made mistakes, but it's his rookie season, and you expect rookies to make some mistakes at least. And if it's not him making mistakes, it's him getting in other people's stuff by accident, because it's always either bad timing on where the wreck happens, or he just spins out trying to brake, or something. Something happens every race to Connor, it feels like. And he's so hard on himself. But at the same time, I expect him to, being a rookie and knowing how I am on stuff. So that's to be expected for a rookie. The Cup Series, top 10, Bubba Wallace finishing second, Josh Berry finishing in the top 10 for, is this his third week in a row? He's on a hot streak right now, finishing third. Great job, Josh. They have a great car coming out of that Wood Brothers Penske camp right now. I don't know what it is, but he's been on a tear. Bell ended up with a fourth. Larson, two top tens in a row, finishing fifth. About time he gets on a hot streak. He's still year and a half since his last win. Who knows when he's going to get that next win? Who knows? It could be any time. It could be 2 years from now. He's on a drought. Ty Gibbs finishing sixth. Denny Hamlin seventh. Reddick eighth. Ryan Preece, probably one of, if not the most notable driver that has raced at New Hampshire and has probably the most miles in the Cup Series at New Hampshire, other than Joe Logano, possibly. Finishing ninth. Great job for Ryan. And then Noah Gragson, out of nowhere, top 10. That Noah Gragson is not a guy you expect to get a top 10 in the Cup Series right now. He's been running crappy all season, and he gets a top 10 at New Hampshire. Great job by that Front Row Motorsports camp there. Noah Gragson staying with Front Row as well next season. So good job to Noah. The Cup Series chase. Denny Hamlin clinches the regular season championship. It is physically impossible for Blaney to catch up now. So congratulations to Denny on clinching that regular season championship before Daytona. And then Larson, Logano, Busher, Hocevar, Byron, and Suarez are now locked in to the chase. So you will see all of them into the chase. The only three spots left open. Bubba, Cindric, and Gisbergen. The final three spots left open. Bubba and Cindric, unless something substantial happens to them this weekend, I expect them to get into the chase. Now this Gisbergen Priest battle is going to be interesting to watch this weekend at Daytona. I think it's only 30 points between the two right now. Gisbergen did not have as great as a race as I thought he would have at New Hampshire. He stood it out great, got the lead, led laps. But as it dried out, he just was not the right person in that car. And it just was bad. And Priest came up and got that top 10. So at Daytona, I expect Gisbergen to at least try to lay low and let Priest try to make the moves and try to be um, rough on the competitors out there. And Priest could get in a wreck. He could not. We will have to see and find out. But this battle is going to be close at Daytona. 30 points at Daytona is not going to be much. If Priest races up front the entire race and Gisbergen out back, Priest can get there pretty easily. The RFK boys will line up and try to get Priest up there probably. I wouldn't doubt it. I know Kieslowski's not too far behind Priest in the chase, but Kieslowski's not going to make it in. I doubt it. So he's probably going to push Priest as much as possible. So that's going to be interesting to watch this weekend. Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out on Gisbergen and Priest at Daytona. Now, we do have some silly season. Austin Hill will be in the 33 RCR Cup car next year, which is to be expected. I figured that much. I know people were speculating Josh Berry coming into the 33, but I feel like that'd be stupid on RCR's part, saying they have Austin Hill already running the 33 this year and has a great relationship with Richard Childress and all of them over there at the RCR camp. Um, it would have been stupid to put Josh Berry in instead of Austin Hill. I was thinking Josh Berry could come over and come into the O'Reilly series for RCR. Now we know that is not going to happen. It is going to be Carson Brown driving the 2 and Chandler Smith driving the 21 for the RCR O'Reilly cars next season. Uh, Huge new lineup for them in the O'Reilly series. They haven't had this much of a change up in a few years now, with Jesse Love moving over to the 21 Cup car next season, and Austin Hill being in the 33 Cup car next season. They had to find two new people. Carson Brown, Chandler Smith are those people. I think they're going to fit in great. I think they're going to do well next season. RCR cars are typically really good at the super speedways. I expect Austin Hill to run good in the Cup Series at super speedways next season. Carson Brown, Chandler Smith, probably pretty good at the drafting tracks as well. But that's not the only silly season news. We have even more. The 87 Peterson Racing is going full time with Lee Pulliam. Now, Lee, great late model racer, all of that. He has a bunch of wins, championships in the late models, has a Cars Tour team. He announced this on the Dale Jr. podcast earlier this week, and great news for Lee. He only got this opportunity just because Junior Motorsports and Dale Jr. gave him the opportunity to run an O'Reilly car at Martinsville a year or two ago. And since then, he's been running here and there in the late models and stuff like that. And now he's going to be running full time in the O'Reilly series in that 87 car. Carson Quapple, 2 wins this season, part time, full time the rest of the season actually, in that one car. Is going to drive the 8 car for the Junior Motorsports O'Reilly team next season. Sammy Smith will be out of that car, off to different and better or worse, possibly, but I hope it's better position for Sammy Smith. Sammy Smith just always felt like one of those that did not fit into Junior Motorsports too well, to me anyway. And he just hasn't been running good too much. Obviously, he does run good, but here lately, I don't think he's been running as good, in my opinion. Um, but Carson Kvapil will take over the 8 car for next season. Great silly season rumors. I love those. Before we get into the schedule, I want to give a quick shout out. Kyle Kirkwood won the Freedom 250 in Washington, D.C. Jeff Gordon won the IROC series at Washington, D.C. this past weekend as well. Landon Norris wins the F1 race over in Zandvoort. Now, off to the full season. The Cup, O'Reilly, and Truck Series seasons, which, before we get into the full schedule, I want to take a quick note. Craftsman may not be the title sponsor the next season. It may be FedEx Freight, which is now independent from FedEx. So those are two separate companies now. So FedEx is not necessarily coming back to NASCAR, but FedEx Freight may become the title sponsor for the Truck Series next season, which I don't like it. I feel like Truck Series should be either camper or tools. Most notably, probably tools. Most people, in my opinion, who have trucks either like tools, get tools for the trucks and stuff just to carry them around or use them. It's truck stuff. Or even have campers to attach to their truck. It's just the two main things that happen with the trucks. So I feel like those are the better ones for the truck series. But if FedEx Freight want to come in and give the name in the truck series, more than welcome to, I guess. Now, off to the full schedule. The Cup Series, excuse me, uh, will be back at COTA. The March 14th Phoenix race is going to be a doubleheader with IndyCar. And then they're also heading back to Dover for a points race. And then also race is back to North Wilkesboro. Unfortunately, Prime is gonna have their race stretch, starting with the Coke 600. Go to blah 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 blah. Let's just restart all this. I will not cut that out. I want to apologize real fast if you hear any mess ups. I am very sorry for the mess ups. I do like to talk fast. Uh, and it's just me doing this right now until I do get a co host. We will find out when that will be, but hopefully soon. Let me back up here. So, Prime Video will be 5 race stretch again, starting with the Coke 600, Nashville, Pocono, Michigan, and the returning to Chicagoland Speedway, not the Chicago Street Race. I thought Chicagoland put a great race on this year. I think they're going to do so again next year. Fox will have the first 14 races again. TNT will have the next 5, starting with Iowa on July 4th weekend, and then Sonoma, Echo Park, or Atlanta as I call it, over to the Brickyard 400 at Indianapolis, and ending with the Naval Base. Naval Base is back, but only for the Cup and O'Reilly Series back at Coronado. There's rumors that there's going to be another base in 28. Whether or not that will happen, we'll have to wait and see until next year. That will also, the 5 race stretch will also be the in-season challenge once again returning. Bristol out of the chase now in August for the night race. So it's Gateway out of the chase. And then Darlington will be the cutoff race for next season, not Daytona like it has been in previous years, including this year. It will be the Southern 500 for the cutoff race. Uh, Now, the chase will consist of Richmond, Watkins Glen, New Hampshire, Kansas, Las Vegas, Charlotte Oval, back to the Oval, Phoenix, Dega, Martinsville, and the championship race is back at Miami. Now, the O'Reilly Series, as far as I'm aware, will be with the Cup Series all season next year. So there's not going to be a standalone date where it's just O'Reilly and Truck or just O'Reilly itself. So basically, whatever track Cup Series is going to, O'Reilly will be there most likely. The Truck Series. Oh, I forgot about that. One notable, O'Reilly is coming back to the North Wilkesboro next season. That will be exciting. I forgot about that. Um, that's gonna be an exciting race for O'Reilly Series coming back to North Wilkesboro for the first time since the 90s, just like the Cup Series before they brought it back. Now, the Truck Series, St. Petersburg is back on the schedule for the second year in a row. I thought that was a great race last season, or earlier this season, sorry. And pairing that up with IndyCar at St. Pete, that's going to be a great weekend. The Truck Series is also at North Wilkesboro, so it's going to be a 3-race weekend, possibly 4 race, because Cars Tour likes to be there that weekend. So that's going to be an exciting weekend at North Wilkesboro. And then the trucks are back at Michigan. I want to let me check. I don't know. Is O'Reilly back at Michigan? No, they're not back at Michigan. Okay. The trucks are back at Michigan. And then Lime Rock Park is also back on the schedule for 30 in a row. The race has been good there the past 2 years. I expect nothing less for next year. Indianapolis Raceway Park is back. And then Bowman Gray Stadium, for the first time ever for the Truck Series, is going to be there. That's going to be an interesting race, trying to fit 36 trucks on that track. Assuming they could barely fit 26, I think, Cup cars on that track. I think by lap 5, everybody is going to need a new engine because somebody's going to get mad. There's going to be numerous fights at the end of the race. Somebody's going to purposely wreck somebody. It's a truck series. It's going to be pure chaos. And I'm here for it. I cannot wait for that race. If you know anything about Bowman Gray, they call it the Madhouse for a reason. Every week, somebody intentionally wrecks somebody. They have numerous fights every week. I expect no less for the truck series. It's going to be a fun weekend. And for the first time since 2019, the truck series is back into Canada, back at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. That's going to be an exciting race. I know John Hunter, Cole Custer had that fight years ago. The last race there, I want to say was Brett Moffitt was the winner. That's going to be exciting. Uh, Into the chase. New Hampshire, Kansas, Charlotte, Phoenix, Dega, Martinsville, and Homestead is going to be the chase for them. So that's going to be exciting to see next season for all that. Can't wait for next season. I will post a video another time coming up soon, going through the whole season for all three series. But right now, that's going to be it. I was just talking about the notable races. Let's talk about O'Reilly Daytona preview. So, the O'Reilly series, coming back to Daytona, not the cutoff race for them, I don't believe. Still have a few more races. Uh, most notable cars this weekend: Nick Sanchez, it's going to be in the 87. Leland Honeyman Jr. in the 51. Cody Ware's brother Carson Ware is going to be in the 53. Andy Jankowiak, if you don't know that name, you may remember him saying at the ARCA race a few years back, "I ain't lifting till I see God of the checkered flag." Oh, Andy J is making his O'Reilly debut in the 39 car. Daniel Dye is going to be in the 32, as he's a Braccarella is going to be in that 4 car. That's going to be an exciting race. Anything can happen. I feel like Junior Motorsports, Viking, Joe Gibbs Racing, Haas Factory Team, anybody can win. But if anybody will win, I have faith in my Viking Motorsports cars. They've been running good this year with Parker Retzloff and Anthony Alfredo. They've been doing so good this year. Numerous top 10s, numerous top 5s, so close to wins this season. I feel like if they play the race out right, they can win it. Junior Motorsports can be a win or wreck. It's either someone from there is going to win or all the teams are going to wreck out. That's typically how it goes for them. Joe Gibbs Racing, typically pretty good. Haas Factory Team has been really good this season. I feel like they can be another good team to win this season. But watch out for them in the O'Reilly Series. It's going to be a great race tomorrow night, that is. Friday night. The Cup Series at Daytona will be on Saturday night. Before we get into the preview for the Daytona race, now Daytona does have some new package rules. So what they are...
People are objectively worse than any other creature.
Sorry guys, I was trying to see at the video. Hold up. Let me look this up real fast. I should have had this pulled up before. But they are changing the Cup Series package this weekend. So what they're looking to do is try and make sure they don't have to save fuel as much and get some more good racing this weekend. Hopefully the package works. I don't have the stats for the package up right now. I can't find it in that short time. If I take more time, I can probably find it, but that's fine. But new package to look at. Also, is this going to be the weekend where we see our first Cup Series flip with the side flaps on the A-frame? I don't know. I've been calling for it for a little while. I feel like it's going to happen anytime soon. Just because no matter what you do to the car, you're always going to have a car that will flip. You can lessen the chances out of it. Lessen the chances out of it, excuse me. But you're not going to get rid of it completely, unfortunately. the preview, we have 5 cars, 5 open cars. Daniel Dye in the 78, Corey Heim in the 67, Greg Golding is back in the 66, Casey Mears in the 62, and Joey Gase in the 44. Now, there's going to be one DNQ. Who that is going to be, we'll have to wait and see until qualifying happens. But if qualifying is rained out, Casey Mears will be the car that will go home. Unfortunately, but that's going to be the way it is. Now, the winners. If you want a good bet, take Ryan Preece. You can get great money for Ryan Preece this weekend. I'm not able to bet yet, but if you want to bet Ryan Preece. I think the Fords are going to be strong this weekend. They have found some real good speed here lately on all the tracks, and I feel like all the Fords are going to be lined up together somehow, some way. And then Toyotas. Toyotas are obviously going to be strong like they have been this season. Chevys are going to be up in the air. They've had on and off all season, mostly offs. I don't see a Chevy driver winning this weekend. I see a Toyota or a Ford winning this weekend, so bet on them. I can see an RFK win. RFK, or hear me out, Legacy Motor Club. They just announced all those partners. I feel like they've had better speed, in my opinion, this season. With all the partners in place now, I feel like they can do well, be pushed up to the front. Eric Jones, John Hunter Nemechek possibly could win this race. Another one that could win this race, basically anybody, let's be honest. I think it'd be very interesting to see Cody Ware win. I don't think he will. He might lead a couple laps, but I don't think he's going to win. But again, winners, I would take Penske, RFK, 2311, Joe Gibbs Racing. Those 4 teams I would take for sure. If you want to take Legacy Motor Club, that's up to you. But it's going to be one of those 4 major teams there that's going to win the season this weekend for sure. Excited to see the cutoff race this weekend at Daytona. Hope you guys enjoy the races this weekend. And with that, episode 2 is over. There's going to be plenty of other races this weekend that you can probably find on Flow Racing or anywhere else you can find racing at. But I hope you guys have a good weekend. Hope you guys just enjoy watching the racing this weekend. And I will see you all later. Bye. This has been the Checkered Flag Chat podcast. Please look at subscribing for more content like this and even more content other than this in the future. I will be uploading more iRacing content here in the future, plus other videos as well, talking about the season, talking about anything else. But most of what I will be talking about is going to be on this podcast. So please subscribe for more.